All right, we are going. Hold on. And then the opening music. Babu. Hey, Rich. How's it going?
Good.
What are you painting up tonight?
Painting up some of the main characters from the Gates of Niflheim.
I see you got some sort of box. What's in this box? Show us what's in the box.
Is my no name. If you look on it, it's actually no name.
No name. All right.
Airbrush.
Okay, let's see it. We're gonna do a little
Braided airbrush. It comes with a little. This is the compressor. And it pretty much works like a regular airbrush, except you don't need to plug it in, and it only takes up a small amount of space. So,
is this your first time using it?
It's for priming, but I'm going to do some Zenithal with it. So, I'll see how that goes.
Water went down the road.
I didn't know whether you were laughing or choking.
I took like a very small swig of water.
Uh-huh.
All right. Let me show you what I'm painting. Hold on. All righty.
You hear it?
So, first of all, check this out, Rich. You said last week to pick these up. I decided, what the hey?
Oh, golden. That's good stuff, yeah.
There was a local fine art supply store. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it.
Can you hear the compressor?
Nope.
Oh, well. That's good.
So here you go. I think I got all the ones you said to get. So I even got one that I thought looked pretty cool. Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray.
I told you to get that. That's a good one.
Okay, cool.
Payne's Gray is neat because if you add just a little bit of white to that, it becomes blue, like almost blue.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a blue color. It's just very quickly. So Payne's Gray, red, yellow ochre, and there's one more is what's called the Zorn palette.
Yeah, I've heard of the Zorn.
You know the Zorn palette?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yep.
So the Zorn palette, you know what it's based off of, right?
Isn't there an artist literally named Zorn?
Yeah, but it actually is the same palette used to paint the cave paintings at Nazca.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so here it is. It's yellow ochre, vermilion or cadmium red, ivory black, which is one color, and titanium white.
I have that right here, so I could do a Zorn palette mini if I wanted.
Zorn palette can make, it only uses certain ones. It's very much like Frazetta. Frazetta uses the Zorn palette for a lot of his stuff. At least it looks like he does. I'm surprised there was a Payne's Gray was in it. Somebody told me and said Payne's Gray was in it. But if you add Payne's Gray, it's good. So your skin tones are white, yellow, ochre, and red. We'll give you a skin tone.
Okay.
Black to make green, and shadow tones. But yeah, the cake. So basically, ochre is naturally occurring. Like you can find that ochre kind of in the clay in the area, and then red was probably blood, maybe, or iron oxide. And the white was chalk. And,
okay, literally just chalk.
Yeah. And so it's naturally occurring, stuff that was in that area when they were working on painting it. I'm sure, unfortunately, there's probably some poop in there.
Well, as we all know. Dusty!
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, Dusty? I'm showing off my new airbrush I bought at...
1 second, Rich. I gotta...
Yeah.
There we go. You're back.
So,
I had to put Dusty in, so I had to take you out for like a quarter of a second so Dusty would fill the spot
on the main screen. So
Yep. All right, I'm gonna pop you onto the main, so give it a second. Boom.
So Dusty, this is the compressor. It's battery operated or like chargeable batteries.
What brand is this? No name?
No name. It's from Spray Painter, and so it's a travel airbrush. This I didn't get there. This is the Evolution from Squidmark. This is my first time using a real airbrush on it. It comes with like a trigger bar, like a one of the brushes for like like spray painting like big areas, like doing your doing priming and stuff.
Yeah.
A trigger one. I could have got it with a regular airbrush, but I had a regular airbrush, so I didn't bother. So this is my first time trying it with a real airbrush. I have a feeling that the airflow is not consistent enough, but let's see. Let's see what happens.
That's snazzy.
Yeah, it's nice because I don't need to plug it in, and it takes up a very small amount of space. I got an extra battery if I need it. So I'm going to do some Zenithal.
Dusty, how's your week? What you painting?
The same Ravener as last week, which was
okay. Just so you know, if you go look up the title, I already entered in before you joined the stream.
Tyranid Raveners.
So I already put that in before you joined. I don't know why I asked.
Well, I'm on 3 of 5. It is a new Ravener.
Well, hell yeah. That's how
so we're getting places.
So you're painting different craft worlds for your Ravener band there, Dusty?
Yes.
Not craft worlds, but so do the Raveners have like a meeting hall, a guild meeting hall where they all meet up and they're like, hey man, let's go out and party?
I like to think of this as kind of like, all the different hive fleets got together and they're like, hey guys, we just really need to work on like inner hive fleet relations. Let's all go out and kill a bunch of guys together.
Bonding.
And
I'd like to thank Local 42 Burrowers, Raveners, and Biovore for meeting this week. I think it's really important we have these meetings. I know that there's a lot of strife being caused right now, the Carnifex Union, but
I think it's just important to keep in mind that we're all Tyranids together. We all feed off the same biomass. Maybe we process it a little differently. That's okay.
Doesn't matter what color our shitting is.
Yep.
That's right. We're here to devour the universe together.
Yep.
So anyway, there's some Zenithal highlighting of these characters.
Oh, hey, if it can Zenithal, that means it's a travel airbrush, because all I use an airbrush for 99% of the time, I prime with a rattle can. I Zenithal with an airbrush. That's all I use it for.
I use it. You should really try underpainting.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So pick a color that's the opposite of the color wheel of the color.
You don't just underpaint with a brush, though?
No, it's much easier because when you're underpainting with an airbrush, you do this and you get all the underpainting. Right?
You know what I've been underpainting a lot with, though?
Mm-hmm.
That magenta you had me get.
Magenta is good, yeah. But the underpainting should be based on the tone you're going to set, but also it should be based on the color, your base color. So remember, if you take the opposite side of the color wheel, that's the shadow of whatever color you're painting.
Oh, okay. I can just look at the other side.
If you undercoat with the opposite side of the color wheel, you're going to get effectively the shadow for your model.
Well, that's cool. I never knew that.
So figure out your base color and then add pick it up.
Cool. I will do that. I'm really liking these paints. I'm just getting used to pushing them around and stuff because they feel a little different than maybe the acrylics I'm used to. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you what, they thin great.
Yeah, and they don't
thin way better than what I'm used to.
They don't water out is the big thing, right? They don't.
Yeah, they don't lose that surface tension thing where they like.
The heavy going to always give them a better. You're not going to have to worry about them being just watery messes.
Right. Played 2,000 points, 10th edition, 40K, Iron Warriors versus Sisters of Battle. I was playing the Iron Warriors Detachment Renegade Raiders, and Francisco, my friend, was playing Sisters of Battle Hollowed Martyrs. They basically get to resurrect characters when they die. And it's pretty scary, you know. He puts his sister on the objective. That's not very scary or very good or anything like that. But if you kill her, she is going to get back up. And she doesn't get back up in combat. You know what I mean? She gets back up out of combat. So she can do stuff, shoot next turn, hit you with a multi-melta, stuff like that. You know? It's good. Peter Turbo, my count says Abaddon. He got fried by a multi-melta.
So you were playing sisters? I missed that part.
Yeah, I was playing Warriors. I was playing Peter Turbo, counts as Abaddon.
But who were you playing against?
My buddy Francisco playing Sisters.
Sister, that's what I meant. You were playing against the sisters. Yeah, okay.
Hallowed Martyrs specifically.
Nice.
He didn't take Sacrosancts, though he thinks he might now. It was funny, you know, early game, I was like destroying him. I think he had killed 2 models by the time it was turn 3. But since his army was basically just 100 power armored sisters holding the objective, he won out on points by big. You know, I think it was 65-30 at the end of round 3. So it was like, oof, I was so far behind. Because basically what he did is he had these sisters of battle who can scout, and he essentially scouted them directly in front of me. And yeah, I killed all of them. I killed all 30 of them on turn 1, but I couldn't move out of my deployment zone because there was a wall of sisters of battle holding hands, blocking me in like they're protecting a redwood.
That sucks.
It was great. It was a great game. It was a lot of fun. Forge Fiend, I should have had more faith in it. I think if I had, I might have been able to pull out a win. If I'm being honest. Oh, now I hear the compressor.
Yeah.
So I am adding. So I'm going to try, if you want red to be more, instead of mixing in white, what would you mix in? Cadmium yellow?
More red? Like
Okay.
highlights red? Highlight, yeah, it would be yellow.
Yellow. Okay, cool. Well, that's what I'm doing. Is cadmium yellow in here? Mix it up. I'm getting my Red Grass Games palette soon. So that'll be fun. I think I have to put a humidifier in this room, though, if I want it to actually be able to work.
So how you fixed for inks?
What do you mean?
Inks.
I
Different.
still use contrast and speed paint when I'm doing something like that, but I have Dalarowny inks as well. Are those any good?
What's that?
Dalarowny?
No, I don't know that one.
I use them in the airbrush. They're nice because you can shoot them straight through the airbrush. And they're a little delicate, though. I will say that. You have to varnish them after they've fully cured.
I am speaking of the red grass wet palette. I did a neat thing tonight. I'm used to, like, you know, the wet palette sort of like drying out the top of it, and the paint's dry even after a while, even if they've been in the fridge. And so I can just take and just sort of, you know, nonchalantly dump water back in it from the sink to get it going again and put some more paint on. Well, I forgot that the paint, because it's the everlasting wet palette, the paint just, like, you know, comes off. So I had, before I was able to start painting tonight, I had to like push a bunch of loose paint off to the side and clear a little spot for myself. So note, like, the paint comes off.
The thing that they taught in or that when we paint in Las Vegas is you pretty much fill the palette up to the sponge and just keep always filling it up. So lift up your paper, right? And then pour water until there's
Is something you could show on camera, Rich?
Well, the key for me would have been to lift up the paper first, which I did not do.
Here, going on camera, Rich.
If you're in the desert, you're always gonna. So here we are, right? But you see how much water's in there?
Yeah.
It's just like floating in water. But the key is lift up the paper before you do that. Otherwise,
If I was a smarter man, yes, correct.
You know, knowing's half the battle.
G.I. Joe. guys ever see the episode of Community that's G.I. Joe?
Yeah, I
No.
just watched that. I watched season 6, was it?
For whatever reason, Cobra Commander's eulogy to Destro always makes me laugh so hard. He's like, when I first met Destro, he said he wanted to coat his entire head in metal. And I said, how would you do that? How would that even work? I think about that constantly, but how would that even work? I like
That
that
Targaryen guy
Tom-
died from it.
What's that? This yellow is really, really nice.
So next week when I come to next week, I'm gonna probably start my Giants using
Oh, yeah?
using oils. Yeah.
Okay, so that whole project just
LVO, man, I got 24 hours of oil painting. I'm taking.
Mhm.
Dusty, did you get your LVO tickets?
I did
Oh,
not.
I was going to ask, when is LVO? Is it end of October or beginning?
Beginning, first weekend in October.
Yeah, no, I'm never going to be able to do it.
Why?
It's Bridget's birthday.
We'll bring Bridget to Las Vegas.
No, Rich. You don't get to decide what your partner does for their birthday.
No, but Robbie, you do get to decide who your partner is, and questions have to be asked about the priorities of said partner.
If it interferes with LVO, then
Come on.
I tend to stay out of people's relationships to the best of my ability, but sometimes some offenses are so egregious that they just cannot be left unspoken.
Robbie, you're a sales guy.
Can't miss LVO.
You have to slowly put the little, as long as Bridget's not listening to this. Which,
Oh,
No, hang on. There's one person watching. Watch out.
the one person watching, it definitely is Bridget.
if it's Bridget, could you please move to another channel that's more interesting than these three nerds?
Yeah,
talking?
I think there's actually some really good stuff on over at Genshin
Hell
Impact.
Divers. There's a real Helldiver game. going on.
Yeah, there you go.
We've been playing so much Helldiver.
Person, you know how sales work. You got to put that earworm in of like, it's really nice in October, Las Vegas. The
Really
temperature.
hitting the loss, there's a lot of history to Las
And then you do, you play an Abed and you do that episode, where he's got the two people, and he's doing the switching between the two people, in classic TV sitcom, and you're like, hey Bridget, I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be back, and then
I have to play I have to play 2 rounds of a 40K
and
tournament.
then you come back and be like, "Ooh, man, that breakfast went right through me."
It's 12 hours later, and I'm covered in sweat, and I've got my army with me, and I'm like, I gotta tell you, that bagel.
You actually leave your forget and leave your LVO T-shirt on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's how it ends.
Robbie, you didn't have an LVO. What's LVO, Robbie? I never heard about LVO. How come you didn't tell me about that?
That's why
Hey,
my
think about the
favorite.
Think about
My
the downsides
favorite,
here. The worst case scenario is you have even more time for Warhammer once it's all said and done.
I really don't know if I can push how much time I have for Warhammer beyond the point that I'm at. Since you just watched your rewatch of Community, which is funny, I'm doing one too. The line about Abed where he's like, where Annie breaks Dark Knight DVD, Dusty.
Oh yeah. Oh
Right.
God.
And she's like, maybe I could switch it out. And he's like, oh, yeah. And Troy's like, oh, you want to switch it out? Maybe you want to disguise the priceless gift for something else. He's like, you know how many sitcoms have done the disguise of priceless artifact? He's like, because Abed knows. Because Abed knows everything.
Abed went all like detective on it.
Well, he becomes Batman.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He becomes Batman.
Annie has to confess her sins to Batman because that Abed guy's pretty ruthless. I wouldn't mention it to him.
Forgive me, Batman, for I have sinned.
Forgive me, Batman.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the last season was probably for sure the worst.
Season 4 is the worst, Rich. Come on. Don't
Really?
even do that. Season 4, terrible. Terrible.
That was the one where Harmon wasn't involved, right?
That's right.
Yeah, because Harmon basically had to step away.
Yeah, they fired him because he didn't like the direction they were taking the show and they wanted more control over it.
He had some like outside the show stuff going on.
No, that actually didn't get him fired at all. Him being a sex pest Well, at ABC, they would have given him a C-suite position. They would have been like, hold on, this guy shows leadership qualities.
With a button under the desk that locks the door.
Right, yeah. So, no, season 4, they got rid of him, and then they brought him back in season 5.
Yeah, because, well, there was nothing. I hear the movie's happening.
You know what? Anything could happen. I can't imagine what it would be about at this point.
When does that ever stop anybody from making a movie?
Well,
have you watched Mythic Quest, Rob?
I've watched some of it. I actually don't like listening to people play D&D.
No, Mythic Quest that's Harmon Quest you're thinking of. Mythic Quest is an Apple show that has
with Mac in it.
Yeah, Mac. It's the whole crew.
I watched the first season. I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's fun. It's not as well written as like a Community, but it's fun. It's like, I don't know.
It's written by Charlie.
Yep.
It's the whole Always Sunny. Did you watch last season of Always Sunny?
You know what? I kind of fell off after season 12 and stopped watching.
Last season was pretty good.
Yeah? Okay. For me, at a certain point, especially like because they all look like creepy zombies now with all the plastic surgery they've had.
Huh.
You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. They look odd and it freaks me out. It makes me sad. You know?
Did you see the season with when they went to Ireland?
No, I've never seen that, actually. Would that be worth carving out and giving a watch?
Sure, for sure. Cole Meany plays Charlie's dad.
Oh, cool.
And he realizes the secret language him and his dad have had for years is just Gaelic.
Ah! That's funny. He had a conic brogue the whole time.
Yep.
It's funny.
And I thought that was last season, and then they did another one.
You know, at a certain point, I think things should end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
This
was pretty good though. Like I was pretty impressed that they actually pulled it off.
Oh, okay. Well, I will give it.
I was very surprised it even happened, but.
So, Rich, take a look at this. This is my first time really trying to do highlights with these, trying to keep the paint super thin. Where would you go next with these paints? Basically, I've been essentially having it over and over again, inserting. Hold on. Let me get this to focus better. Sorry, guys. These document viewer cameras really cool, but a little bit like
finicky.
Anyway, so I've been basically mixing these two together to push my highlights, right? So
you know what that symbol on the outside shows their transparency, right?
Oh fuck! Did I buy the wrong ones?
No, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
But just so you know, they're going to be 2-3 coats if you want to have a base coat with them.
Yeah, and that's what I've been doing. But I'm really liking it so far. But where would you push this next? Should I take the magenta back out and maybe increase the shading a little bit?
Yeah, I would get some. You need some shadow in there.
Cool.
And your shadow can be green.
Really? Okay. Because I was going to go with this, Rich. But I've got all the paints you recommended. So should I go with phthalo green?
Phthalo green is the shadow for red.
Or hold on. Okay, I have phthalo blue. It says green shade underneath of it.
No.
Okay.
I mean, you can try it. I mean, just experiment. Just have fun, man.
Okay. All right.
There's no wrong way. That's the thing you gotta learn. Like that's something that we talked about at a number of the classes that I did.
That's not what the internet told me.
I know, right? The internet lies. At least you didn't know.
Y'all ever seen Return of the Living Dead? They try to cut the zombie's head off. And they're like, it worked in the movies. And he's like, you mean the movie lied?
There.
So when I'm mixing the water in here with these paints, just because you're more familiar with them, there's like bits in it that I feel like I have to like mix in, that's normal. Like it's like got hard chunks.
It shouldn't have hard chunks.
Maybe there's something weird. Anyway,
It has hard chunks. It's going to be thick in some areas, and you have to thin it a little bit more or something.
Okay,
It
that's all.
Shouldn't be hard chunks.
Maybe I'm using the wrong verbiage.
There's thick paint, but that's heavy body paint, so you're going to have thick paint.
Makes sense. All right. I'm gonna switch one of y'all to the camera. Who's got good camera feed going right now?
Not I.
Not me.
All right. I'm gonna switch it back to me.
Go to me. I'm gonna be airbrush.
Okay, cool. Dusty, did you mean to turn your camera and sound off? Okay.
I'm eating dinner.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
I'm watching Rich airbrush while eating dinner. It's highly entertaining.
So if you notice, I did a blue under paint for the red,
Okay.
and then I'm hitting him with red as the upper coat.
You don't think with the airbrush medium that I bought, I could shoot these through the airbrush effectively?
Yeah, I think you should. I mean, you can just shoot them with water. Flow improver is you want to add a little flow improver. But the key is make sure you mix them ahead of time before you put them in the airbrush. So
Okay.
that them chunks you were talking about are not there. Otherwise, you're going to clog your airbrush.
Okay, makes sense.
Make sure it's a nice, smooth, watery mix. Right. One of the ways people do it, like I've noticed, is like this. They use their brush in the airbrush and mix it around.
I got to tell you, these paints, I'm so thrilled you turned me on.
What you showed me looks great.
I'm really just, they're so much easier to use. You know,
just have fun with it. Just try different mixes and stuff.
well, that's what I've been doing because originally I looked up a book and I'm like, well, if these are like the only 9 or 10 paints I'm ever going to use, why don't I just see what I could do with all of them?
A good lesson to teach yourself is put them on a palette and then just put them in a palette in the order of the color wheel.
Okay. Yeah.
And then blend them through the color wheel. Right?
Oh, okay. That's a fun experiment.
Blend the one from the next one and try to create the entire color wheel.
Okay.
Fun experiment is take the paints you already have, right?
Okay.
And put them. Roman Lawput has this exercise. You put them in the. You put paints you already have, like army paint or whatever.
Sure.
Pick like 9 of your favorite paints.
Okay.
And then use those paints to make those colors. To match those.
Oh.
And then you know how to go with them. And the other one is doing skin tones.
Okay.
Is put a circle, like use a magic marker, put a circle on your hand.
Okay.
Try to paint your hand to match your skin tones. So don't paint inside the circle, paint outside, and try to have it match what's inside the circle.
Whoa.
Now
That's like something. Who's the Sifu in the movie? The guy who died because he jerked himself off to death. Yeah. That's like a take the rock from my hand type of shit.
Oh, that was Kung Fu, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
paint the hand.
Paint a section of your hand so it looks like
your hand.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a really cool thing, actually. All right,
and then you'll learn paint. You'll learn how to do colors. You know. So it's generally a white, a brown, and then a ochre will make a color for you.
I had to find my color wheel.
Yeah.
That out. I should buy like a big color wheel poster and just put it right there.
Yeah, sure. You can find
Yeah. I'm sure there's a million. I'm gonna switch it over to mine for a little bit.
switching paints here. cleaning out the airbrushes.
And cleaning out the airbrush is 90% of what airbrush users do.
I don't clean too much. I mean, I'm pretty
much after every single color I do about
white, so red to white. I really need to do a good clear.
Gotcha.
I can't possibly just clean that out.
I will say these colors are so like they pop off the model. You know what I mean? After a few coats.
Again, one of the things I learned from Adepticon and its classes between Marco and other people is the other thing about these paints. 20 years from now, you'll know what these paints look like. Just go to an art museum. Army Painter and all the current model hobby games.
Sure. Who knows what bullshit they'll call it next week? And
no. Who knows what color the paints on your model that you have will be?
Oh, sure, that too, because you have no idea how they hold up.
Never tested them to see how long they last, or what exposure to air does to them over time, and what the sun does to them. And where these paints are, if you go to an art museum, almost everything in there was using these colors.
That's awesome.
These paint, and like I was saying about the Zorn palette, in theory, some of these colors have been used by humans to paint things for,
hundreds of thousands of years.
100,000 years ago, they started painting with these colors. So
I do love that, Rich. You know me, old history guy. Like anything that makes me feel like I'm doing it the old ways. All right. So we sat down and we watched Prince of Darkness last night. John Carpenter film. Familiar?
Yeah.
I don't know it.
Excellent.
Is it new or old?
Old.
They showed that on the 70 millimeter at the Lovecraft Film Festival in here.
I bet it looked great.
Yeah.
I bet
Very
it.
Lovecraftian.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you know what's funny, though? If you just judge literally what happened, nothing about it is strange or unexplainable. They like briefly explain it at the beginning, and I guess I just never caught it last watch through. The being inside the jar is an alien, and like from the alien's perspective, none of this is very dramatic or interesting at all. You know what I mean? Like he's like crash landed on a planet essentially, or whatever you want to count that being as. It's just interesting when you think of movies like, well, from their perspective, it's a horror movie, and from his perspective, his alarm clock went off. You know what I mean? His 7 million year alarm clock.
It's like what's the Will Smith movie? Like they don't really do that in the movie, but the book, I Am Legend.
Great book.
Right.
Great book.
Movie, not so good.
Yeah, if all you've ever seen is the movie, first of all, there's a better movie starring Vincent Price that came out in the
Heston?
What's that?
Wasn't it Charlton Heston?
No, that is the second remake that came out in the 70s, where all the mutants call the humans jive turkeys, and
they would.
You're referring to Omega Man.
Yeah, Omega Man, yeah.
Which is a remake. It's just a remake. It is the same movie, except for everything is very like everyone calls each other Soul Brother, and it's
blaxploitation movie.
It's very blaxploitation. That's it. That's what it's called. Like Striker, no Shaft. That's his name. Which, by the way, if y'all haven't ever seen My Name is Dolomite,
yeah, it's very good.
Oh, Dusty, have you ever seen it?
No.
I'd recommend it, especially if you ever watched that era of movies. The only ones I ever watched were Red Letter Media spotlighted them. I can't remember the guy, Rudy Ray, something. I don't know. He had like a I'm a Hollywood guy name. You know what I mean? Like, hold on.
Another good Lovecraftian movie, if you haven't seen it for a long time or you haven't seen it ever, is Mouth of Madness.
Amazing. I love Mouth of Madness so much.
Hey, there's another one you could meet up with me at, Robbie. 13th through the 16th of August in Providence, Rhode Island is Necronomicon.
Is it just basically the Lovecraft Film Festival, but there?
Lovecraft Film Festival is part of it, but it's actually Lovecraftian like seminars. It's in Providence, Rhode Island. It's in.
I don't think I have anything going on in August. Is it just like a weekend thing? I could fly in and
The 16th, yeah. We'll be driving up to it, but so you could come to.
I'll probably just land in Providence if I do it.
Yeah, and I can pick you up at the airport. I'll have a car and everything.
Yeah, I'll see if it's reasonable and if it's something that can work.
We're gonna stay at the Courtyard, I think. If you want to look at that up, you can find a place.
I'll stay wherever you're staying at if I.
Yeah, we're at the Courtyard. It's not called the Columbus Theater anymore. It's like the Broadway Theater, but it was the Columbus Theater, and it's just like the
one I
the Hollywood.
Mm.
Yeah. And
what do they go over at these seminars?
Like literary works of Lovecraft. They also do
or his friends.
Like they have authors who write Lovecraftian stories. They have, it's in his hometown, so Brown University is right there, and so they have professors of.
They often have like, what's his name, Clark Ashton Smith and Conan writers.
Howard stuff sometimes, but then they also have Chaosiums there, and they run RPGs and board games.
Interesting.
It happens every 2 years, so it's not something every year, but it's in Providence, cool town. On Saturday nights, they have what's called the Fire on the Water, and they have these big bonfires in the middle of the water. Very Lovecraftian. You just imagine it's some cult ceremony. You can ride a gondola around amongst the fire if you want, or just walk around. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's fun. So tickets are on sale now.
Well, getting away for a weekend doesn't feel too crazy.
Really, everything starts on Friday, but Thursday is the first day, technically, of the show.
Let's see. I've actually been super, maybe not busy is the word, but just have a lot to do at work.
Yeah.
Weird. I thought this would do the opposite of what it's doing. I was trying to I desaturated it too much by adding too much white. So I tried to glaze ultramarine blue just over it. Maybe I got to let it dry.
Saturated blue already.
What's that?
Ultramarine's desaturated already.
Oh, yeah? Should I be using the phthalo?
Phthalo, yeah. Phthalo's the saturated one.
All right. I will switch to that one. I'm learning. Hours of dicking around can save you minutes of reading the instructions.
It's all about the journey.
Restarted watching Samurai Jack.
Yeah, that's great.
I have not watched that.
It's like the best show ever. It's awesome.
I ran a whole Star Wars campaign based off that.
It's very Star Wars, which,
yeah, exactly. Clone Wars, it's the same animator.
I know. I'm like, and he went on to make Star Wars, so.
And I would say that his Star Wars, even though they decanonized it almost instantly, made some of the best action figures they have ever made. I love those ones.
Small amount of that.
Yeah, very small amount of action figures, but man, were they quality. Hot dang.
Well, and I got to tell you, Grievous is a much more interesting character. Anakin's a much more interesting character. Like 5 seconds in, Anakin's very Byronic hero and kind of hot sad boy vibes, where he's kind of like a piece of toast in the movies.
Yeah, that was a lot of stuff in the movies.
George Lucas's direction or something, right?
If they didn't make that canon, I would definitely say, like, if that wasn't canon, then Mace Windu has to be alive. Because Mace Windu, like, falls from the top of in that movie, falls from the top of the like one of the big towers in Coruscant and makes his way down across like various speeders, jumping on and off them.
Right.
In one piece at the bottom, and so him just falling out the window from the Emperor would have definitely like survived.
Well, and I mean, in
That's
the Marvel comics, over and over and over again. What's that? Oh, you're coming to me.
The camera.
Over and over and over again in the comics, they have people falling from, just basically like jumping in outer space, and then like, yeah, never mind, I can survive re-entry through atmosphere, like no big deal. It's like, so Marvel basically shot themselves and everybody else in the foot with that over and over and over again. I feel like there needs to be somebody. You'd think the Lucas Story Group would be in charge of this, but there needs to be somebody who's like just checking at all.
See, back in the day, it used to be West End Games, who made the role-playing game, had the ultimate approval on any like novels, anything.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How the fuck they secure that?
They were the only ones doing a Star Wars thing back then. Like
They were paying attention.
They started doing the RPG, and so they had to create a coherent world from just New Hope.
They didn't have people coming in and saying, "Well, I really wanted to tell a different story this time around."
Oh, Dusty, if you think that's why Disney movies are worse, I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn. This is why Disney movies are worse. And here's the plot that I've pitched. 17 producers on this film. 17 producers each individually lean back and lean forward and say, the most important part of this film will be if you add the stupid bullshit I want to add.
Yes.
And then all 17 of them add in their 3 minutes of stupid bullshit that they claim is the biggest deal.
Their girlfriend needs to be in it, and she wrote the scene, so you have to put this in.
That's why.
Also, marketing just called and they said we need 17 more minutes of scenes with Luke Skywalker playing with the Blast Launcher 3000 tactical assault vehicle toy that's releasing in Q2.
That's why. I mean, you can see that happen. Like at the end of the Ahsoka series, when they, for no reasonable explanation, allow an Imperial shuttle that is not contacting them, also for no reasonable explanation, to land on their ship, and then they all stand at the base of it to wait to see who comes out. No guns drawn, nothing doing. And Ezra walks down in stormtrooper armor, and instead of shooting him, they go, yuck, that's a stormtrooper. And then he takes his helmet off and goes, oh, hey.
Yeah, but see, they knew he wasn't a stormtrooper, Dusty, because he was too short to be a stormtrooper.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's what they do. They go like this. They sit around. They go, that original idea with.
They do what I do when I'm measuring trees on the farm to see how far they fall. Is they stand back with a tape measure, and then they turn the tape measure sideways and see where it's gonna land, right? And they're like, it's not a stormtrooper.
Well, no, they go like this. They go, well, I know that you wrote this new plot with these new characters and this new ship, and thus moving the story in a different direction. But I think we need to know why Han Solo has a stripe on his leg. I think what the viewers really want to know is his entire backstory to why he has a stripe on his leg. And where did he get the vest?
You want to know something? I knew once why he had a stripe on his leg, and I'm 90% sure that every movie and piece of media they've made since then has sort of disproved that story. And honest to God, I don't know the truth anymore.
It's the Carillion, the blood.
No, that's what it was. But then they did Solo, and then they did the comics, and then it's like, well, none of that stuff happened now. So
it's a vest. It has a stripe on it because a costume designer in the 60s found pants with stripes on them.
Couldn't hide the seam.
And she thought it would create a nice vertical line for his profile.
But by the way, that's okay. Like, I don't mind that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to know why they have a special shoe.
But I mean, one of the things I like so much about Warhammer is that in addition to like coming up with reasons to sell us stuff, the reasons to sell us stuff, like the whole Horus heresy, so we can all fight Space Marines against each other, it is cool. Like, they do a good job.
Yeah, I will say though, there's been a now that there's a lot of 40K fans that are only because of the shows and animation and only because of the books, they often are like, why does it feel like nothing really ever changes or happens in any of these books? And it's like, well, because it's an excuse for us to play with space Barbies.
Because
Tyranid,
the world has to be the same when it ends as it was when it started.
Yeah. The Tyranids can never lose because there's about 80 million guys with Tyranid armies. They spend hours painting, you know? So, like, I don't know. It's like, I think some people are starting to want to expect a more Star Wars-esque narrative from Warhammer. And it's like, it's a setting to explain our space Barbies, guys. Like, like that's it. That's all
There
it
was
is.
a time when I would have wanted a Star Wars-esque, but now Star Wars-esque means something else.
Sure. But let's be real. Let's look through the entire history of Star Wars. And is the reality, Dusty, that really you like 2 movies?
3.
You like Return?
I do.
I
would even dare say it's my favorite.
I think Return, the opening 15 minutes is good. The final confrontation with the Emperor is good. But otherwise, it is the most like.
Nope, I love it all, and I say this without exaggeration. I have seen it at least 150 times.
All right, was it like the one movie you saw when you were 5 years old? 800.
When I started when I was 5, and every weekend I watched the whole trilogy until I was about 19.
That's because you have brain damage. That's not.
I think I do now.
But really, like, do you like? I like the Clone Wars television show.
I like that a lot.
But let's be honest. Is that actually Star Wars at all?
Well, the problem is Filoni wrote it, and Filoni, I think we can all watch Ahsoka and know what kind of writer Filoni is.
I never watched Ahsoka.
I don't do it. Please don't, because you will not
I
like it.
stopped watching the shows after Obi-Wan. I was like, okay, well, this
Obi-Wan was terrible. But the thing is, when they're cartoons, they get away with more terrible writing because it's a cartoon. Now, before our one viewer loses her mind, I watch a lot of anime, and there's a lot of incredible writing, but there's also degrees of like, well, it's okay that it's not the most incredible writing because it's a show for family kids. I'm making excuses, but that's okay. It's less egregious when you see it. That's my point. And Clone Wars, now that I look back at Clone Wars, I'm like, man, maybe that actually is terrible.
Well, I will say this. If you stripped Star Wars from these things, because I think most Star Wars properties wear science fiction like a jacket. You know what I mean? They're mostly, I would say, sword and sorcery, knightly adventures.
They're just the hero's journey over and over and over again.
Oh, well, that's every movie ever made. Every movie ever made is guy climbs up tree, people yell at them, they climb down tree. That's every movie ever made. Person climbs tree, people yell at them, they climb down, having changed. That's every single one. They return to homeostasis and go, it's almost as if I flew in a sort of trajectory, like a object sailing through the sky. I wish there was a word for it.
I will plant my flag till the day I die and say that in the MCU, Steve Rogers did not lead the hero's journey. Steve Rogers was a chump who quit.
Steve Rogers is Captain America?
Yep.
Whoa. What's going on here, Dusty?
I'm committing a random act of violence against Captain America.
Yeah, you just drove by to Rich. Rich loves Captain America.
So I will tell you, no, in the MCU,
In fact, Rich is wearing a blue shirt right now, so there's like a 30% chance that's a Captain America shirt.
Rich is already on the way here. I know. We're watching a feedback loop, and it's just Rich.
Please, plead your case. Exhibit A.
I loved Captain America all the way until the very end of Endgame. And you get to the end of Endgame, and I liked him better than Iron Man the whole way through. The whole Civil War, all of it. I was always a Captain America fan. You get to the end of Captain America, and he goes, I think I'm going to retire, guys. And then he didn't retire as like an old man who couldn't do it anymore. He retired as a dude who went back in time. And All that stuff, when he went back in time, that means that everything that was still canon, everything that happened, he was sitting at home eating Peggy Carter's pie while Peggy Carter was saving the world. And he's just sitting there going, I could help. I'm one of the greatest superheroes of all time. I could help. And he did that for like 40, 50 years. He just sat there and watched everybody die, every bad thing happen, and said, I did enough. Meanwhile, Iron Man, who I did not particularly like up to that point, he was fine, but he wasn't my favorite. He did all the way to the end. He died. He gave everything and he died. Now, if I had to choose who's the actual superhero there, the guy who gave everything and died, or the guy who kind of was like, yeah, I think I did enough, I'm just going to sit and watch it happen. I mean, that's an easy choice.
Dusty is the Senate from Starship Troopers. The only way for a soldier to retire is in death. Only in death does duty end.
No. If we're talking about superheroes. We're talking about next level, a person who is capable of solving the problem.
Well, I got a pitch for you. You ready? They should
Yes.
have done a TV show, episodic Monster of the Week show, where Peggy Carter and Captain America in the 60s have to try to solve problems without being noticed and fucking up the time stream. So then you can do a bunch of episodes where Captain America actually was in New York, but he was wearing like a mask and being surreptitious.
He didn't want anybody to know. I'd be fine with that. I'd be totally okay. Just some inkling of proof that he didn't just sit at home and watch sports while so-and-so was trying to kill everyone.
Captain America was working totally different undercover missions.
In the MCU?
In the alternate timeline that he created.
Yeah.
Because he created an alternate timeline.
As soon as you start multiversing the MCU, every time they do it,
But
nothing matters anymore.
There's always been a multiverse.
I know.
Well,
And I will tell you right now, they went wrong when they did that.
Here's the problem. They learned a long time ago that if you add a stupid name like Extreme or Ultimates or Explosive or Dynamic or The Amazing, you get to reset the storyline, tell 8 or 9 of the same stories over and over again.
Now, if I had a nickel for every time I've seen the origin of Spider-Man and none of the cool stuff that happened after.
The thing
Yes.
is, though, the MCU, I think it was like Avengers #3, Kang shows up.
Spider-Man's debut story is an interdimensional travel story.
Yeah.
He's hanging out with the Fantastic. Well, the Fantastic Four were all about dimensional travel.
Yeah, Kang showed up in there, I think, too, first.
So, like, and Fantastic Four. Correct me if I'm wrong. Fantastic Four used to be more popular than like the Avengers and stuff like that.
It was one of my top comics.
I think in the beginning it was like
Because they had like This Man, This Monster. They had that's like one of the best comic stories ever written.
The Mole
Right.
Man.
What's the other really great Fantastic Four story from the 60s? Not This Man, This Monster, where it's about Clay Boy doing, not Clay Boy. It's Clobber in Time Man, whatever that guy's name is.
A Thing.
The Thing. Hey, this reminds me. Did you guys watch the new Superman?
The David Cornswit one?
No, yeah. James Gunn.
Yeah.
Was it any good?
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was incredible. I actually thought they really nailed it. They really got what makes Superman. Superman is not a power fantasy about being all powerful. There are a million comic books about all powerful people doing power fantasies. The power fantasy of Superman is, what if the most powerful being in the universe was good? That's the power fantasy. And they really nailed it. And I won't spoil anything. I think you should watch it. I think it's great. Too bad we'll never get any more of it, but that's life.
Yeah.
Well,
I saw the
Paramount takeover stuff. They basically told you.
well, and the forecast projections for how strange it is that they chose the next outings to be Clayface, who most people, like most of the normies in my life, have no idea, never heard of him.
Clayface
And
is also awesome as long as they go with the
That's dead too, Rich.
What's that?
That's dead too, Rich.
What's that? Huh?
The Penguin Robert Pattinson Batman universe.
Yeah,
No.
they killed that.
Harlequin cartoon.
Oh, that.
Clayface.
Yeah, but nobody in my life is watching those cartoons.
Yeah. Clayface in the Harlequin cartoon is my favorite character.
Yeah.
He's great. What I love about him is he's such an actor. He's like the classic
Shakespearean actor.
Yeah, and he's always like, like kind of a pretentious dick.
Yeah.
It's
I
great.
like Bane in there too. Bane is amazing.
Bane is great. Nobody likes Bane. I like the Joker actually. The Joker's great in that.
Did you watch Kite Man?
Kite Man, hell yeah, the new show. I have not watched it.
It's very
Kite
good.
Man wasn't my favorite character in Harley Quinn, so I didn't know if I was ready for it.
Characters from Harley. So
What's that?
it's the same characters hanging out in bar. It's basically Cheers version of Harley Quinn.
Oh, I could give that a shot.
And the evil villains open up. The villains that like these are all like Kite Man, like second tier, actually like 10th tier villains are hanging out in this bar. And then the super villains, the real super villains, open up a bar across the street that's like TGI Fridays.
Oh, they're like
All the people that work there are dressed as super villains, but they're just like, "Hi, how you doing? Our specials today are," but they're dressed like all the super villains in the DC universe.
Yeah, and they have the pieces of flair kind of thing. Like they're like,
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really good.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. I've watched the first 3 seasons of Harley Quinn and I liked it.
And where does the other show? What was the one? The live action with John Cena. John Cena? Yeah.
That's done.
Peacemaker or whatever it is.
It was great.
Is that still there or is that gone?
No, it ended. It's all over. But it didn't.
I saw the projections are that it lost a ton of money. That like just nobody was watching it.
Well, it's one of the best shows ever made about the DC universe. So I won. I mean, I always think it's very sad that the only allowed type of art that we're allowed is commercially viable art.
Well, I mean, you got to have money to make it, and if you're not making money,
yeah. That's why all those artistic movies, they got made. But basically, like, it's really
but the artistic movies are getting made for less money. These guys are going out, they're making artistic stuff that costs $150 million.
not spend their money.
You can only lose $75 million so many times.
He made the best show, so I don't really care. It's like Andor. You can't take Andor away from me. It's amazing and great. It's better than every Star Wars thing except A New Hope.
Andor won me over when started a Star Wars story that started in a brothel.
Double murder of police officers
In a brothel.
in a brothel.
Yeah. Like, wait a minute. They're in a brothel in Star Wars?
You know what though? Everyone who tells me that Star Wars never had that, it's like, okay, so then what's the implication of Leia's chainmail bikini? What's the implication? I'm a big.
Oh, it was just easier to clean the Rancor cage.
They can't read subtext or read the room or under. I'll pretend to be one of those people. Oh, why did Leia have chainmail bikini? Because of that. It's basically
Make all the nerds feel funny.
Dancers, dancing in his place.
Right. Yeah. It's because Jabba the Hutt's palace is like it has like pole dancer vibe type energy. All right, I'm gonna switch it to mine. There we go. All right. So I've been working on the blade a little bit, trying to make it less desaturated. I'm just letting it fully dry right now. But you were right. The phthalo blue was a lot more saturated.
Yes.
That's nice.
That's
I went with burnt umber for the ground for my dirt color.
Mhm.
And I'm liking it so far. I think I'm going to dry brush it probably with like phthalo Payne's gray might be a fun dry brush color. Create the little rocks in the dirt.
You would want to paint them on. You wouldn't want to dry brush.
Yeah, you think so? Just paint a little like rock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. So this is
Dry
one right here.
Ochre.
You would use yellow ochre to dry brush?
Yeah. little bit of weight maybe at it.
Okay, I can do that. So this is the blood letter. I'm trying to get my demon army to be like painted to. They're my favorite faction. It's a shame that it looks like they're not going to be a faction anymore.
What are they going to do with them? Are they just going to roll them into chaos?
Yeah, I bet you'll be able to take demon units. I bet you bloodletters, bloodthirsters, blood crushers, and what's it called? So will be folded into the world eaters. They used to not be able to do it because they didn't have a codex for each god. But now we have a codex for each god. We have 1,000 Sons, Emperor's Children, World Eaters, and Death Guard. So they should just get the demon units that correspond with it.
Where are they going to roll my custodies when they inevitably take them away from me?
In my perfect world, I wish custodies were a part of an imperial palace army. And I wish custodies weren't a troop choice. I wish they were an elite choice. And you took like, you know, those, have you guys seen the Horus Heresy Imperial Guard?
Yes.
I think those should be the Palace Guard. And I think because I think the problem is when you have a D6 based system, representing the weakness of a grot and the strength of a custode is challenging. And so I think when you try to make an army where everyone is a special character, because that's the pitch of custodes, right, Dusty? Every one of your models is like a character model in someone else's army, right? But it doesn't play like that. So
as long as I can still play them in 40K and they don't just completely invalidate my investment.
The only way I feel like that could ever happen is if people stopped buying the models. And as I understand it, the models sold out on their most recent.
Yeah, I mean they did.
People keep on asking questions like, do you think GW will ever do X? And it's like, well, do you think GW thinks they'll make money off of it? If the answer is yes, then someday they probably will.
I like the people that are always complaining, saying they're just making sure that all this stuff sells out in order to boost scarcity and demand. And I'm like, really? You think that sold out in 30 seconds? You're telling me that if they couldn't have sold 60 seconds worth, that they wouldn't have made 60 seconds worth of that stuff? Or 2 minutes worth? If it sells out in the first 30 minutes, it's still going to create scarce. You're telling me that you don't think that they would have made 60 times as much if they could have? Like, there's production limitations going on there. That's not because they're trying to drive scarcity by having things sell out in 30 seconds.
They're trying to expand their factory, but
yeah, that what the choice is, they have quality ranking on all their products, and Space Marines can never be out of stock ever. And so they must always make Space Marines, and they made that kill team box with whatever spare capacity they had.
Well, and also think about it. You know, in a video game, when you're trying to improve your base while at the same time running your base, it's probably really hard to improve a miniatures factory while you're keeping up with the demand of thousands of miniatures.
Yes.
When I was there, they were fighting with, well, not fighting, but they were trying to get Nottingham to approve another site plan for another factory next door to their current factory. And
I think they are working on that now.
Yeah, no, they were, but it took years to do it. So.
Yeah, I just, they're going to sell, whenever people are like, well, they always make Space Marine stuff, but Gooba the Third, my sub-faction of Necrons, they haven't made a model for Gooba players in 30 years.
Sell. Yeah, they don't sell.
It's like, well, dude, I bet you could, if you sat and thought about it for a minute, you could figure out the answer.
Not enough 12-year-olds that play 40K.
Right.
That's the only people who play Necrons.
I was just looking at my Necrons today going, I think I'm going to start painting these.
I was going to say, speaking of which, my Necron. I think I'm going to do Necrons again, but I think I'm going to paint them blue, yellow, and white.
Nice.
Like actual ancient Egyptian colors. And do them like super proud and well done kind of thing.
Dude, I think, Robbie, you should do all non-metallic metal.
Oh yeah, I don't touch metallics anymore, Rich. You mean paint the Necrons as if they're NNM and not just parts of them? Ooh, can you imagine that? You'd get real good at it.
Yeah, that's why I.
If you painted 100 Necron warriors and they just have and didn't you say that you paint NMM as if everything is a cylinder?
That's
Well,
what
think about
Geo does.
Necron models are just a bunch of cylinders connected together.
Most models are just a bunch of cylinders and some spheres. If you really analyze a model,
Yeah, like I can see a sphere here.
torso is a cylinder. You know, like this one, the breast are spheres, but everything else is a cylinder. Shoulder pads are usually spheres, half spheres. I haven't done it. I printed out actually on my 3D printer some spheres and squares and triangles and stuff.
Yeah.
To just play with them as non-metallic metal. Like
That's what you would do in art class. You would paint like an apple or.
By the way, she changed her major. She's actually majoring in art.
What's that?
Min's actually majoring in art. She starts in September taking art.
Nice.
Amazing. I can only imagine what Min's painting's going to look like in 2 years.
Like
Wow.
she's done a lot of 2D stuff initially. That's what you start at.
Sure. But it's good to learn that stuff, right?
2D makes 3D much easier.
Man, I really like how this Bloodletters turning out. These paints are sick, Rich. Thanks for recommending these.
Yeah, well, when I finally get some stock of Mineworks, I'll send you them. The Mineworks are basically them, but it's meant for miniatures painting.
Mineworks are oils or acrylics?
Acrylic.
But the ones that Robbie's got, those are oils, right?
They're
No.
acrylic.
Acrylics. These are heavy body acrylic. These are golden artist acrylics. So this checkbox that says ASTM, that's what you said means it's transparent. What
See the label? It has the 3 black lines under the color.
Yeah.
Isn't ASTM the safety testing?
Oh. So is there a Payne's gray that's more opaque?
No, probably not.
Okay.
But a lot of colors are not opaque.
Right. Okay. I just was curious. Rich, got to move your middle model a little further up. Wow, Rich. That's looking splendid.
Yeah, this is for this is a plastic for a board game.
What game?
Gates of Niflheim. It's one of the so it's kind of like what is it? The Gloomhaven Path of the Lion or Jaws of the Lion.
Jaws of the Lion.
It's similar, like that style. It comes in a book form. This one is about basically Norse zombies. And
Looks like it's got pretty good detail on it for a board game mini.
Yeah, they did a really good job this season. They have a Cats of the other miniatures game they do is Cats of Saint Michel, the castle monastery in France.
Yeah, I know it.
And they have like really nice cat models, and they're fighting against vermin, which are like cockroaches and stuff. I'm gonna be probably putting them too on this trip. I bought these both with me to paint. This is some of them. They have this box set comes with like 40 models, I think. It's $150, but you actually play out the book is a spiral bound book, and that's your map that you use to play.
I like the stuff that does that.
Yeah, it's very cool. Their next I was just talking to the owner the other day for his next ones. Matt, a friend of mine, Matt Forbeck, is writing all his new stuff. And it's going to be Lovecraftian cats. So it's Cats of New Orleans.
Love Catfian. There's something in there.
As long as the names are fine.
But it's set in the old, like in the 1860s. So it's like Old West New Orleans.
Nice.
With cats. And then the next one goes 60 years later. And it's Chicago. So it's your gangster Eric Chicago.
Cool.
And then the next one's going to be modern Vietnam.
Oh, that's cool. Magnetizer. So I got my goal, gang. I am going to magnetize all the minis I currently own before I buy any more. And I am going to put them all on these little trays that I have. And I am going to just have a giant rack like you would have at like a kitchen, if you guys know what I'm talking about. That'll just have all of these trays in it, and that's how I'll store my armies from here on out. Because what I can do is I can put a clean drape over it. Basically, it's not perfect, but I do woodworking in this room, and so there's dust particulate and stuff like that. So I'd love it if I could reduce that a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna do.
We haven't put them up yet, but I bought 2 glass showcases.
Oh, sick!
I think the best storage I've seen is it. I think it's Tabletop Tactics, and behind them they have just like glass cases across the whole room, and all of them are full from top to bottom with Warhammer.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's what these are like. They have LEDs in them.
Nice.
And we got 2, one for under the TV, one for like the wall. And my goal is to like start like, because I just got the new Cities of Sigmar, the Spearhead.
City of Ash.
Yeah, I have a bunch of Cities of Sigmar, so my goal is to lay out all my Cities of Sigmar stuff and then just make sure it's all painted, like, and laid out.
Nice.
Those castles are going to be like. What do you guys think of those castles?
I love them. Oh my god, do I love them? They're so cool.
They are so weird. I love them. I'm gonna buy them, but there's.
And I just got the new Daughters of Cain Combat Patrol, and it comes with one of those like just massive centerpieces with the Blood Witch in the middle or whatever, whoever she is.
Okay, I'm gonna show.
Yeah,
I'm gonna show a picture so people see. What
I love those. It just like ridiculous ones.
Rich, are you referring to this?
It's a walkie. Yeah, that one.
This is
come up
so freaking orky.
I love it.
There's got to be something orky I can do with this.
Somebody's got to do a Knights Templar Knight army for 40K using them.
This would be sick.
They're casting them with them. These things are awesome.
Very cool. Very cool.
Counts as Imperial Knights.
Yeah, counts as Imperial Knights, and it's Black Templar castles.
Move your mini up just a little north. There we go.
Look, the number of assemblies that one would take. I mean, like, there's just no way you're getting in some of those corners.
You need 3 of them. So there's 3 variants.
Oh my god. Well, I'll see you guys in 4 years. I'm going to be painting these.
Yep. Oh, this is what I'm going to be working on.
Yeah, you got to use an airbrush on that. You can't.
Wow. I might sponge with all the wall texture. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, what I might do is oil, because doing stone texture. Have you seen Zaba's?
I've seen your stone, Rich.
I saw the stone you did last week. That was pretty good.
I don't need to see Zaba's. I've seen yours, and it looked great.
Yeah, I'm like a racehorse at the gate. I really wanted to start painting oils this week, but you can't take oils on trips because you can't somehow protect the model for like 3 days while it dries.
Right, exactly. You need a
stable on shelf with nobody near it.
What you do is you paint the model and then you go on the trip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Give it time to dry.
You can't do oils when you're traveling. That's a definite something you can't do.
I got to tell you, doing these blends with these paints, it feels easy, Rich.
Well, if you think that's easy, Rob, trust me.
Just wait till oils.
Oh my God, dude. It's like you just have this thing and you're like, it's a little too dark. I'm going to make it a little lighter. And then I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And you can do it for like an hour and just move everything around like you're moving butter on a piece of toast.
Exactly. I am horrible at buttering toast.
Well, you get better.
Amy's laughing her head off in the background. No, I've been buttering toast for multiple decades now, and I'm just real bad at it.
Okay, all right. Well, you know what, Dusty? Not everybody has to be good at everything.
Yeah, I know.
somebody using oils for like skin when I was the first time I went to Verko's vault, and he was showing me. he was
Rich,
working-
is there any way we can stop the rave? Oh, there. Oh, oh.
Oh, I feel my epilepsy flaring.
And now I can't see, but that's okay.
Well, we could switch it too if you want, Rich.
No, that's fine.
If-
But yeah, it's oils is like, I mean, you just sit there and you play with them for, as long as you want. And textures are so easy. You just need like all the shitty brushes that I always say, like, I'm gonna save these, I might use them someday. Now I can use. Because with oil, you don't want good brushes. You just want shitty brushes that are all like fanned out and like have bristles that are hard to.
Are you going to use oils for everything?
For the giants? Yeah, the giants are going to be all oils.
The whole, even you're going to paint their eyeballs with oils.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. All right.
Key takeaway: Rich is painting giants' balls.
Mm-hmm. Key takeaway:
Rich is oiling giants' balls.
That's right.
Oil it's very important to do. Very important. You have to be diligent, Dusty. Everybody wants to build, nobody wants to maintain.
There's a lot of surface area there.
Yeah, they need to be oiled.
Maybe you guys can help me with it. I haven't figured out a theme for my giants. I was thinking, I think it's probably been done, but I was really thinking about a Celtic.
I mean, if you don't know for sure that it's been done and you maintain the ignorance,
can you freehand Celtic knots?
Well, no, but I actually I've been doing some research, and them nail art pieces that I have for the actual nails, they have Celtic knotwork ones.
Nice.
And so you could do the whole
fingernails large enough on the models.
Oh yeah. It would be like like you'd have to piece them together because they're not that wide to go around like the whole arm or whatever. But yeah, you could easily do that.
All right, you heard it here, folks.
So now my shop, you shop the thing, where you buy stuff is now all nail art because I was searching for that.
Yeah, there's this great famous tweet that Amazon believes my purchase of a humidifier was simply the inaugural start to a lifelong hobby of collecting humidifiers.
I bought a new zero turn the other day, and it was not cheap. And on checkout, Tractor Supply says, and here's some other things you might be interested in. And it was 4 more zero turns, each with an add to cart button underneath them. And I'm like, this was a bad cross sell, guys. I do not need 5 zero turns today.
What is a zero turn?
Zero turn mower. So it's a riding mower, but it's one of the ones that has like the bulldozer bars on it. So you're
a landscaping business and you need them for all your landscaping jobs.
There we go.
Yeah, I could mow the lawn 5 times faster if I had 5 of these bad boys.
Yeah, all I get is now on shop is like different variations of stuff to do nails now.
Everything in my life is the oddest combination of Warhammer and antiques. Specifically because Amy and I use the same account for everything.
Light here to see these. Looks like they're in helmets, right? It's skulls and helmets. His mace or his flail.
Let's say, are there just 2 heads stuck on his axe, or is it a flail?
So he's got chains. See the chains?
I see them. Yes.
And it's I think they're heads and helmets. So now I have to do bronze. I like bronze. Bronze is good.
You know what? Maybe a silver Necron army, because I've always thought a silver Necron army looks really dumb and bad.
A silver Necron army with green, clear.
What if they were silver Necrons, Rich, but they were NMM, all of them?
Yeah, of course.
That could look good.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what's the nice part about using these paints too? once I figure out a recipe with these paints of how to do iron, I'll just do that for iron for the rest of my minis forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's black and the ultramarine blue. I think I'll probably do it.
All right, I got some on the palette right now. Let's mix it up.
You have the phthalo, which is green, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
That black and phthalo. The phthalo will create the dark sea blue, which is the base for most steel, at least for me.
Ooh, yeah, because you said it reflects a little bit of the sky.
Right. It's always going to have some blue reflection unless you're like in a dungeon or something that doesn't have sky.
Depends on the dungeon, if we're being accurate.
What dungeon has sky?
Reincarnated as a slime, campfire cooking in another world, dungeon meshy.
They're actually not
Is it
really
wrong to
dungeons.
pick up girls in a dungeon?
They're more what I would refer to back in the day as hollow earth fiction.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I mean? Because like,
Yep.
what's the one where you go down the caves and you wear different color whistles depending on how deep into the abyss? Made in Abyss.
Yeah,
Made in Abyss.
I haven't watched it yet. I know a lot about it though.
I didn't finish it, but what I watched was good. But it's very like, what is the
They
Robert?
didn't
E.
finish it though, right? Isn't it like on hiatus?
I have no
Whole
clue.
world?
What's the world in DC that is the hollow world that like some World War II guy goes through a portal in the Antarctica? It's like a 60s DC plot line.
Why don't they make that movie? I would watch that.
They kind of did.
Unknown, isn't it?
Commandy? Is his name Commandy?
That's that's
Oh, that's a post-apocalyptic Earth.
that's Marvel.
DC Hollow Universe. The Hollow Earth in DC.
While he's looking that up, Rich, this red grass wet palette is one of the absolute best recommendations you have ever made.
I don't see why you would use it. I still see like Ninjon using the game Envy one, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
It works, but this works
Yeah.
harder and better. And don't get me wrong, I got Game Envy handle, I got a Game Envy light. Like their stuff is, I like their stuff, but this red
If you
grass
like the
palette is
game
great.
Envy light, get the red grass light. it's the same difference as that palette to the game Envy.
What about it is better? Because this thing is pretty darn good.
It's two lights, and you can turn them and shape them in different directions.
Yeah, I got there's 5, and I can angle them all kinds of like different ways here.
Two separate. Yeah, the game Envies are good. That's what they use at Verco's Vault. But the brightness of the and the quality. I mean, it's made in Switzerland, so.
I understand that things made in Switzerland are very fancy. They make Swiss cheese there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Swiss Army knives.
Swiss cheese, biggest scam in the industry. Those
I don't
hoes
really-
be getting less cheese.
I don't really like the taste of it either.
You like Swiss cheese?
By the way, guys, education here from someone who's been a lot to Switzerland. It's not Swiss cheese. It's Emmentaler cheese.
Well, it's the same. It's the same way. I don't think. I mean, there's French
Is this
fries
one of
aren't
those
actually French.
situations? Is this one of those situations where it's only champagne in the city of Champagne and it's just sparkling alcohol everywhere else?
No, it's the other way around.
Gotcha. Okay.
So every town in Switzerland, because the Swiss cheese mafia can only produce certain types of cheese for that.
Big cheese.
Yeah, no, there's actually a thing. That's
Oh,
why
there's big everything. There's like a mob controlling every business in the entire world.
they dictate which cheese you can make to keep the markets free. And so you have Gouda is a town in Switzerland. You have
Gouda is good. I like that.
You have what's the French one?
Brie.
No. We went to the town.
Cologne,
Gruyere.
No.
Druid.
Every town in Switzerland has its own type of cheese.
That would
So
be
the-
pretty cool if you had a cheese named after you, Robbie.
So
I was just, there's a town named Daruin apparently somewhere out there. I don't know exactly where. It's like it was featured in Northlanders.
I went to the town where that guy. Remember that that director from Lovecraft that directed the Nick Cage.
Yeah. Big creep.
Yeah, Big Creeper. I went to his hometown.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Did they have signs up that say "Do not trust this man" and it was pictures of him?
No, he actually got thrown out because he's English, and with Brexit, he couldn't stay in France anymore.
That's hysterical.
But his town, the church has a statue of Asmodeus in it. It was in the Dan Brown books, and the
The one with the albino monk who whips himself.
different
Yes.
story. I've never read the Dan Brown, but effectively there was rumors that there was the Templar treasure there, right?
From Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade.
No. In Dan Brown, there's no.
What was that? The Da Vinci Code.
The Da Vinci
Code.
Code.
But what really happened was the priest who ran that church was like skimming and doing and so he was excommunicated. So the rumors were he worshipped the devil.
Cage the Elephant predicted all of this.
When you when you go through the storyline of it, what happened was he was doing side marriages and not kicking up to the bishop. And so they excommunicated him because he wasn't paying his dues for all the marriages he was doing. But that's how he was able to build this big church, because he was using that money to build the church. But a lot of people said, "Oh no, he found the secret treasure of the Templars." But really, it was just him skimming money from the bishop to build this really nice church there.
You know, Rich, I'll tell you, 90% of all historical mysteries are just like, oh no, that guy was probably just stealing money.
Yeah, light fraud,
Yeah, he was just committing fraud. Like
embezzling.
Like people, or the answer is so obvious and simple, but for whatever reason at the time, the historians of that era did not want to say the obvious.
People are bored.
Like, for example, I saw this news article last week that was scientists have finally uncovered the truth of Roanoke Island.
Yeah.
And it's like they ran out of food, so they joined the local native population.
Yeah, they went to another island.
Yeah.
They literally wrote on a tree where you could find them if you want to find them.
Krakatoa. It's in that book.
Croatoa. Krakatoa's a volcano.
Yeah, right. Croatoa. It's in that book, Native Nations. They talk exactly about it.
Like they left a note, guys. There's no mystery. There has never been a mystery.
Americans who live there.
Yep. They went to the other inhabited island that other people lived at.
Well, the big problem when you read that book, Native Nations, that most of those colonies had, is they came here thinking that the ground was just like ground in Europe, and they tried to plant the same crops. Yeah. And then guess what? It wasn't. I was telling Sammy, we were talking in the car, like the similar story of that was there was a TED Talk about an Italian and who was part of the Italian version of the Peace Corps.
Okay.
And he's found this field near this African village, and it was like they did all the soil testing, and they're like, this field would grow tomatoes perfectly. And the natives are like, yeah, we don't grow anything there. They're like, why? This is perfect. And they're like, yeah, well, you shouldn't grow there. But why? We've done no, we can grow there. We know what we're doing. And they're like, okay, we told you, but go ahead. And they can it, and everything's growing well, and the tomatoes are like ready to be ripened and ready to be picked. And they wake up the next morning and there's no tomatoes left. And they're like, what happened? Did somebody steal them? And he was like, we told you not to go there. It's where the hippos live. Hippos came in overnight and ate every tomato, and they're like,
Yeah, and if you were there with a machine gun mounted on the back of a tank, the hippos would win.
Not only would the hippos win, but you would not even get one of them.
The people think that the Leviathan in the Bible is just a hippo. like they describe like every description of it. You're like, that sounds kind of like a hippo.
Did you see that Colombia has a hippo problem because some drug lord had his own menagerie and the hippos got loose and they've been breeding unchecked because they're now like an alpha predator and they're actually and they got to get rid of them because they keep attacking locals. Like, this is not a joke. They are actively trying to figure out their hippo problem in Colombia.
This is in The Simpsons. They already did this joke. Classic Simpsons did it. They get cats, they get rid of the rats. They're like, well, get rid of the rats. Oh, well, we'll have dogs. Well, what about the dogs? Then we send in the gorillas. Okay, well, then how do we get rid of the gorillas? That's the beautiful part, Lisa. The gorillas will freeze to death in the winter. All right, Rich, show off what you painted for tonight. Let's see it.
Well, there's this guy here.
Move him a little in the light. Move him a little.
Yeah, well, like the light causes a strobe. So
Well, you only got to hold it up for a second, so maybe we can see. Ooh, the NMM, Rich. You're really pushing this whole painting hobby. You know, that happens to everybody's spears as they get older.
yeah, so that's the two I worked on tonight.
Here's mine. Oh, I just touched wet paint. I painted one bloodletter because I am testing these new paints. One of them have like a bright blue sword and bright red and orange skin, and he's got some brown ground. I'm probably not going to do much more than that because I got a bunch of them to repaint. Hold on. I got all these to do. But yeah, Dusty, you want to show off yours?
Yep.
All right, let's see it. You're a little out of focus. Give it a second. Wow. Still out of focus.
Base coat's coming together.
Sick, man. I love that you're doing one of each color scheme. That's really cool.
I am enjoying it.
Sick. You guys going to be here next week?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, guys. I will see y'all next Sunday. And
Sounds good. See you next week.
One person who watched the whole time, thank you.
Thank you, Bridget.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Bye.